Before diving deep into the episode, I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys. So, we're all about building a space about wellness and personal growth. So we really want to bring the best conversation on WellSome Podcast. And in order to do that, I really ask you to support our journey, hit the thumbs up, just share the episode if you really think that it can resonate with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to keep up with us. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WellSome, a podcast where wellness meets self-development. I am Viky, and in each episode, we're going to dive deep into real conversation about health and personal growth. So, as you can see today, I am alone in the studio to record this podcast because today I really wanted to have a one-on-one talk with you guys about a topic that I feel everyone, 100% of the population have experienced. But we still really want to find the right solution and the right hacks to just get over it and just how to navigate through it. And the topic is breakup. The reason also why I wanted to touch base this topic is basically because I have been through it recently, first of all, and second because I feel there's a lot of rumors behind this and everyone has his own way to just consider breakup or navigate through it. But I also think that we can actually take this topic from a health and wellness point of view, and I'm going to explain you exactly how and why. So basically, when we're going through a breakup, this will affect not only our body, also our mind, our emotions, and our physical health as well, because our body will send signals. So in today's episode, I don't really want to talk about my breakup because I just want to share my experience just for the sake of it. I really want to take this experience to then give you the solutions and just to share with you how you can, first of all, how you can avoid it in case you are with the wrong person and maybe you're ignoring the signals. So we're gonna talk about what are the signals that you should look at when you're with someone in order for you to avoid breakup or just decide that this person is not for you. Second of all, we're going to dive deep into how to reprogram your brain because sometimes, guys, we're not in love. It's just like dopamine hits, let me tell you. And third, we're going to dive deep into how to do practically the reframe and how to get over it in a very practical way, not only by saying everything is gonna be fine, you're gonna take time. The reason why I wanted to make this episode is because I wish I found this episode before. But through the experience and also through my experience as a health and life coach, I really wanted to make this for you guys so we can actually heal together. So I want to start this episode by sharing my experience. So I've been going through a breakup probably recently, actually, less than 1 year ago. And it was pretty painful, not because the guy did something bad in specific. It's not about cheating. It's not about, being aggressive or anything major. But the way he affected my mind really, really, really took me like so long to just recover from it. And I'm going to tell you exactly how, and we're going to talk about it in deep. So, story time. So I met this guy probably, as I said, 1 year ago. And immediately deep connection, a deep talk, and we clicked, everything was fine. Everything was fine to a point that I was just under this roller coaster of dopamine because this guy has a very, very, very fast, active, and dynamic lifestyle because he's always traveling, he's always doing different things, is ambitious, so he puts himself in many, many different environments. So when I met him and I saw like how it was handling also the dates. Every time was an adventure. Every time was a new experience, a new restaurant, a new hike, a new travel, a new party, a new experience. So I got triggered because I felt so like high. I think I would say high. You know, when you're high, and I felt, oh my God, I want this. Like I want to keep this level. I want this. The thing is that, as you might know, this dopamine mountain will go up, 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 but then at some point it will crash you down. And this is what happened after 3 weeks. So basically, after 3 weeks, after the honeymoon phase, I would say, this guy decided to travel for 3 weeks because he was working in US, in Hong Kong, in Asia, whatever. And in these 3 weeks, I swear, if I received probably a message every 2 days, it was a miracle in a way that he went completely numb. I don't want to say it was ghosting, but it was very, 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 very absent. So imagine going from 3 weeks of intensity, adventures, fun, and things to do together, and you feel like, oh my God, like I'm bonding, I'm so high, and then immediately you crashed. Like you feel like, where's my dopamine? No. So for 3 weeks, I felt so bad, and this affected me so much physically, mentally, spiritually, in any level, because you need to understand that dopamine is a neurotransmitter that everyone have, and is the feeling good transmitter. So means that every time that we feel in love, or we feel that someone is giving us attentions, or we are attracted to someone, our dopamine would just go high, high, high. The problem is that this kind of dopamine is not natural dopamine, and in high dosages it's not even sustainable. So whenever this dopamine is not maintained and there's a crash, because basically maybe the person is not giving you the attention he did before, or he cannot sustain the same level, the dopamine will go off. And that's exactly what happened to me. So basically, after 2 weeks of high dopamine, 3 weeks after, immediately nothing. So in these 3 weeks, I felt like I was like a drug dealer that ran out of fentanyl. I swear. It was so bad. So basically, I couldn't concentrate because I was constantly overthinking. I blame myself a lot, thinking, oh my God, did I do something wrong? Maybe, I don't know, maybe I did something and he didn't want to tell me. Maybe it's my fault. And third, you keep on looking at your phone, you keep on talking about it to your friends, you keep on being so distracted to your present moment because you want to understand what happened and you're looking forward for the next dose. Anyway, the guy comes back. And of course, I didn't question myself, oh, maybe if this is happening, this is not a good sign. Because of course, when you're in the loop and you like someone or you think you like someone, you don't want to give up on that and you take it a little bit as a mission. So when he came back, I just act cool because I was like, oh, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just the beginning, maybe I should be cool about it. So we start again, basically. And we dated for solid 6 months. And again, those 6 months were like this, like a roller coaster, up and down, but I would say mostly high. And we traveled together, we did so many experiences together abroad, and it was amazing, to a point that I also met his parents, and I felt like, okay, if he introduced me to his parents, means that it's something very serious. So at that point, imagine you're already high in dopamine, then it gives you this like security. So you feel like, okay, it's done. Like, I mean, this is going very, very well. Unfortunately, surprisingly, this was just the beginning of the hell, because 1 week after this reunion with the parents and the family, I was getting ready to go on a date. And I got ready, I dressed up, I was super happy to see him, because again, he was traveling, again, he was busy. And I was craving a little bit more attention, because the messages were so. Sometimes he was messaging me so much during the day. Sometimes he was just sending one message. Sometimes he was calling, but sometimes he was not calling. And I was like, okay, I am going on this date with the purpose to just open up and say, hey, by the way, I would appreciate more consistency. He opens the door. First of all, he was already late, and I was kind of pissed. But I thought, okay, I feel that he feels that he was so busy this week, and then maybe he was caught up with his own things. I felt that the mood was kind of off. But guys, you've been dating for 6 months, you met the parents, you traveled together, you did all the tests possible, so we were compatible. So I would have never thought this could have ended, or at least not before a discussion. So he entered in my room, and I was ready to go. And he tells me, sit down. I was like, okay. And then he tells me straight away, I swear, I'm not sugarcoating, I'm not using nice words. This is exactly what he said to me. He sat down, and I was like, listen, I cannot do that anymore, because not only I feel I'm too busy, and I am not ready for a relationship, but also I'm not in love. I don't love you. So I don't want to continue, because I don't want to be with a person I don't love. And I swear, I think when someone look at you and tells you, I don't love you, which never happened to me, is terrible, is shit, honestly, because I think you can find so many ways to tell someone, I don't want to be with you, and that was completely fine. But making all this effort to travel, to meet the family, and to show that, everything was kind of settled for you the same week to come and say, I don't want to be with you, and I don't love you. It was kind of when when you have a bruise and you put a plaster, but it's still fresh, so just you remove the plaster. I was shocked. And then at some point I was so shocked that I couldn't open my mouth. I couldn't think about anything. I was just shut down. And then I also thought, maybe his parents didn't like me, but then he told me, no, my parents loved you. It's not for that, I swear. And I believe it, because I felt it as well. I was also invited. So basically, all the summer plans that we did, all canceled. All the plans to travel in the upcoming weeks, all canceled. All the plans to meet each other parents, all canceled. Everything was canceled. In less than 5 minutes, everything was completely shut down. But this is not the worst part. The worst part is that, because let me tell you something, if a person comes to you and says something very, very harsh on you, it's bad. It's bad, because I think as a person you should measure your word, but still, at least he was honest. But this was not this was not the worst part. The worst part was, by the way, I just want to think about it. So I just want to tell you how I feel, but on the other side, I just want to think about it. I am going to take 1 week to think about our relationship and see if I miss you, whatever. And I'm going to get back to you this weekend. So I'm going to text you this weekend to see how we can, deal with this situation. Okay, so this is the worst thing that you can do, because first of all, I don't know you guys, but I don't believe in breaks. And second, the worst thing is that he never called and never messaged me back again. Never. So you can assume that this was the worst week of my life, because you're waiting for a message, because you still hold on the hope to get back together, but still you're hurt from what he said. And on the other side is it doesn't come logic on you because what he did was not aligned with what happened. Plus, you're on dopamine, so you went so high to just then crash. So the day after, I just remember, and I wanted to share with you guys this because I swear, like it feels so bad. It can feel so bad in your body as well. But trust me. The reason why I also wanted to do this podcast is we heal. Trust me, we heal. If you think that you cannot get over someone because in the moment, trust me, you think you can never get over this guy or this girl, I'm here to tell you and to show you and to prove that you can. And not only you can, but whenever you do, you just feel so freaking good. So basically what happened to me the day after is that I supposed to have a shooting. I completely canceled it because I keep on crying, and how can I do the shooting if I'm crying? And then I was just like, I cannot work like this. I cannot go to work like this. I cannot take meetings like this. So I just take one day off, and I remember that I didn't know where to stay because I didn't want to stay home because again, like it happened, like the breakup happened in my house. So I was kind of like, I don't want to be in this environment. But on the other side, I don't know where to go because I'm not working. So I cannot go to the office or the coffee shop. Like, I don't know where to go also because I was so embarrassed. I was keep on crying. So I didn't want people to see me. I felt very, very bad. And I was not crying in a way that, okay, just a light cry. I was just vomiting tears, basically. So I remember that I went to the beach, and I remember that I went swimming very, very, very far because, again, I was crying and I didn't want people around me to see. And I swear at some point I was swimming and I was crying so hard that I think this is the end, I'm going to have an heart attack. I never happened to me before. I'm not a person who suffer from deep anxiety, even though sometimes happens to be anxious. But I really thought, okay, I'm going to have an heart attack. But at the end of the day, I just realized it was a panic attack, not a heart attack. I was panicking. I was crying. I was shaking. I was breathing very, very, very deep. I was just out of breath. And I never forget this moment because it just humbled me so much because I felt the breakup in my body. So every time people are saying to other people, well, just get over it, just get a rebound, or just distracted, this and that. I mean, I know where the advice comes from, but you need to understand that also breakups are traumatic events that can actually affect our body and our nervous system. So the key to heal from that is not really distracting yourself and eventually put yourself in situation that can make the scenario worst, but it's just to take a step back, just look at yourself from outside and really work on not only your nervous system, but also your emotional state. Because otherwise, guys, you probably end up being traumatized for a very long time, especially if this type of breakup happen in a very random way, or maybe can happen something even worse than what happened to me, like cheating or abusive. Like, it's really, really important after a breakup to just take a step back and just take care of your health, physically, mentally, spiritually, because it's definitely a trauma. And the body knows. So this was my experience. And I'm telling you, realistically, it took me 5 months to get over it. 5 months of pure detox, ups and downs. Healing is not linear. We talk about it with Imad in the last episode about healing and about, how to get over traumas. I really recommend you to watch the episode. And healing is not linear. Sometimes you do very well. Some days you do very bad. But from my experience, I really wanted to talk about what were the signals I completely ignore because there were red flags, guys, but I just decided to go blind. So those are the signals that I completely ignore, and I want to share with you guys. So if you are objective and very truth to yourself, and you're still in a state where you recognize the red flags and you can pull out, please do it for yourself. So the first signals is that whenever I was with him, I was not totally happy. I was high. Happiness and being high, it's different. So sometimes you really think also that you like the person, while I'm telling you, I don't even think I was in love. I think I was high. And that's a massive difference because love is based on respect, building something together, and a very, very calm state of mind. Being high means have butterflies, but butterflies also come to an end. And also having the state of being high, we know for a fact that being high doesn't last forever. So I think you should really ask yourself first whenever you start a relationship, do I feel loved or am I high? So whenever you enter in a relationship or you're dating and you feel something because your body will react immediately. I swear, whenever you meet someone, your energy will speak as his of hers. So you need to pay attention, first of all, what's his energy? What's her energy? It's an energy that gives me peace. It's an energy that gives me roller coasters, is an energy that gives me goosebumps, is an energy that gives me anxiety. And this is something that normally it happens immediately after the first meeting. So first of all, I invite you to pay attention on the first impression that you have when you meet someone and how your body will react to it. So my first impression was I had butterflies and I was high. I was very infatuated. I was very, in a very unnormal way now that I think about it. And I remember that after the first meeting, I thought, oh my God, I don't want this to end. So I was running out of drugs. So first of all, please notice the differences when you're approaching a person rather than another. How do you feel? How does your energy feel? How your body react to this person? This is super important. Sometimes we don't even feel safe around certain people, and you need to listen to your body first. Second, I do remember that at the very end of the relationship, I was crying all the time and I felt anxious. And I remember calling my friend, and specifically one friend. I was calling her and I was saying, listen, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I have a bad feeling. And she was like, why? You just came back from traveling. You just met the parents. Everything is perfect. How do you, I think you're just anxious. I was like, no. There's something going on in my body. I was out of breath. I was anxious. And again, I'm not an anxious type, so this is not normal for me. And I remember calling her and say, hey, I feel this in my body. Something is off. But we couldn't really explain how. But now we can say that my body was telling me, hey, you're running on autopilot and you're in fight or flight. This person is not giving you any security, any stable things, any stability, any good, any stable emotion. So your body is reacting to it in this way because basically he's giving you just dopamine and just take it back all the time. So basically it's a jump on and off. And I think your body is just reacting to it in a way that it was chasing something that sometime went up and sometime went down. So second is, guys, listen to your body even when you're in this relationship and when those situation happens. And if you feel that you're anxious and you're emotional and you have a gut feeling, please listen to this gut feeling. Please listen to this gut feeling. Third signals. I think sometimes your friends see things that you don't want to see, especially if you have a very good crew. I am blessed because I have the best crew ever. I love my friends so much because they're so unapologetically like transparent with me, and I know they want the best for me. So they were all telling me, I like his lifestyle is a bit crazy. I don't think he's a stable person. I don't think emotionally can provide what you're looking for. I think what you guys are doing is very like a little bit childish and very unstable again. And the third signal something is off in the relationship is that you are not listening to your friends and to your support system anymore. You just keep things to yourself because you feel ashamed to share certain details because you know that your friends will tell you, hey, just wake up, this is not okay. So this is something that happened to me, and I got into a fight with one of my best friends for it, and I regret it so much later because if I only would have listened to her, I would have avoided so many things. And fourth is you are disconnected. So going going into work and just going out with your friends, do you know this feeling that when you're with someone and you're going out with your friends and you're going out for a meeting but you're not present in the moment, you're just like overthinking everything the other person is doing and you're not relaxed? This is a very clear sign that this person is not putting you in a position to be present in your own life. And you also maybe feel that you need to sacrifice your life a little bit to just be focused on him or her, because you feel that if you're not doing that, the relationship won't last. I don't know if you ever experienced this feeling. You're sacrificing your things, your life, your friends, your workouts, because there's a specific emotional state that push you to just leave everything behind and just focus on the person, because deep inside subconsciously you think, if I'm not doing this extra, this relationship won't last. If I am not going to this party with him, this relationship won't last. If I am saying no to him, this relationship won't last. If I'm not doing this thing that I really don't want to do, but he asked me to, this relationship won't last. If I really want to go with my girls, but he told me that he wants to see me, if I see my girls instead of him, this relationship won't last. I'm telling you, this is the recipe for a disaster. Whenever you feel that you want to drop your life, your work, your friends, your hobbies, to give priority to a person that you feel that if you don't give priority to him, the relationship won't last, that's the recipe for a disaster. The person who really loves you puts you in a condition to just live your life and nourish your purpose and your hobbies and eventually do life together. Not you sacrificing your life and everything you built to just, my therapist, and you saw her on the podcast, Trish, say something to me during therapy, and we're going to touch base therapy as well. And she said, why, if you're planting flowers and he's planting strawberries, why would you leave the flowers to go plant strawberries? This is not sustainable because eventually the flowers will die, the strawberries will grow, but what if you don't want to eat strawberries anymore, or the strawberries didn't want you to come in anymore? You need to come back to the flowers, but the moment you come back to the flowers, the garden has died. So the best solution, and this is a metaphor, of course, the best solution is, why don't you plant your flowers and he plants his strawberries, and maybe together you just plant another garden with strawberries and flower, and you don't leave your garden to just plant seed in another person's garden. You just create your own garden together. And this is the right way to approach. Now, I want to get into the dopamine trigger, because, guys, sometimes, really, I just repeat it again. Sometimes you're not in love. sometimes you're just high. And there is a massive difference. So when you're with someone that is giving you dopamine effect, that is releasing in you a lot of dopamine, and then all of a sudden he removed the dopamine, can be for any case, can be for any type of cases. Maybe the person is very unstable, maybe he's a bit narcissistic, maybe he's just very confused. I mean, it's not, we cannot blame people, it's not on purpose, but sometimes happens. So basically, again, the dopamine is a neurotransmitter that we all have, and it's nice to have dopamine, by the way. We don't need to demonize dopamine. But there are levels of dopamines, and dopamine, as any feeling good sensation, needs to be stable. That's the reason why now on internet, everyone is also talking about dopamine detox. And this is, I would say, the first thing that I did to get over my breakup. I just did a dopamine detox. So, what is a dopamine detox? So basically, as I said before, when you're under dopamine and then the dopamine just drop, your body will react in a way that it feels like you're panicking, you're running out of drug. So it takes a while for the body to reset and not being in this fight or flight mode, but just be stable, and also for your nervous system to just reset. But in order to do that, we need to understand that we don't need to go for quick fixes of dopamine. Can be anything, can be processed food, can be drugs, can be sex, can be everything that is giving us the booster that we are looking for again, to just then drop, because fast and unnatural artificial dopamine just makes you feel very bad. So I decided to went off dopamine, at least everything that could have triggered me, because I knew for fact that the breakup took longer than expected, not because the person was specifically the love of my life, but because he was in this roller coaster and I get caught in this roller coaster. So first thing first, just remove yourself from the roller coaster. Just try not to binge eat and try to cope with eating. I know sometimes it's just an emotional reaction, but just try to be as much disciplined as possible and be conscious about the eating choices that you make. Second, try not to distract yourself with like parties or instant gratifications, scrolling, everything that can give you this boost, but then makes you feel crap again. And also try to get dopamine from natural sources like sunlight, workouts, like a good chat with your friend, or just a hug from your family. This is crucial, and this was crucial in my journey. Just a dopamine detox from everything that gave me instant gratification, and instead prioritizing natural dopamine as workout, sunlight, friends, a relationship, and everything that will really reset my nervous system. So this is the number one thing that I did. And as a health and life coach, I also recommend it to my clients in the past for different reasons. And I swear it was life-changing. And a lot of sugar cravings gone, a lot of addictions gone, a lot of people that were really unnecessary, just make them feel down, gone. So first thing first, dopamine detox. Second thing that you need to do is you need to get out, because people think that crying alone is the solution. The solution is get out. And when I'm saying get out, I'm saying two things in specific. First of all, if you can, you have to travel. Travels gave me so much light, because whenever you travel, guys, you are in a different environment with different people, with different belief systems, with different cultures, especially if you're traveling in a very humble country. All of a sudden you feel that when you're talking to a person who's a stranger, from one side, you guys are very different. So it feels that your problem is actually like a small percentage of the world's problem. But second, you feel that at the end of the day, we're so unique yet connected. So you might probably see someone going through the same at the other side of the world. And this connection will make you feel so makes you feel so seen that this will contribute on your healing journey. Traveling just humble you in a way that meeting people that you don't know, sharing experience, but on the other side, put yourself in a context where your problems are not that big as you think. This is part of the healing journey, and I swear it helps. If you cannot travel like physically to another destination, just do it in your own city. Just try to go for things that you've never done before. So, for example, pottery classes, or just practice a specific sports where you find new people, because when you find new people, you find new energy. And really, it feels like your problem is not that big. It's not that dramatic, because you just understand that the world is so wide and it's full of possibilities. And this makes you feel, oh, okay, it's not that dramatic as I think. I can actually get over it. On the other side, I wanted you to invite to not rushing. And when I'm saying meeting people and go out, I'm not saying that you need to find a rebound. Guys, that never happens, honestly. Like finding a rebound, I swear I've never heard someone saying the rebound was the solution. So please don't do that, because you might feel crap later, and we don't want that. So just put yourself out. Travel if you can in your own city or outside your city. And within putting yourself out, just try to get out of your comfort zone. Just try new things. Try a new coffee shop. Try to go for a walk in this area compared to the other area. Because whenever you do that, you're telling your brain, I don't want to be stuck in my old program. I want to be open to a new program. I want to be open to discover new things. So your brain will adapt to this new programming, and this will actually help you to move on. Then third point, I would say that you need to take care of yourself in a way that is not only physically. So I did something very stupid after the breakup. I decided that I wanted to glow up, because honestly, like, I think TikTok made me do it. The glow up, the breakup, the glow up after breakup, which I truly believe in it, by the way, but not necessarily in a way that you need to go to London and just paint your hair in a red flashy color. That was not a good idea, guys. But I thought, okay, new era, new me, new hair, let's go red. After that, it was nice for 2 weeks. And then I was like, holy shit, how am I going to maintain this red hair, which I'm brunette and I'm very Mediterranean anyway. So please don't do drastic changes. Don't go for like fillers, or just go pink on your hair, or just do drastic things, or just kill yourself to crazy workouts. No. When I'm saying just take care of yourself, I mean just take care of yourself mentally first, physically second, and emotionally third. Just try to put yourself first in a way that, okay, so first of all, I need to acknowledge my feelings. And I need to, mentally, I need to get over this situation, because you can have all the physical glow up as you want, but if you're not taking care of your mental health, this will not get through. You will not get over him if you're not taking care of these three: mentally, physically, emotionally. So physically, it's very easy. I would recommend to just, go to the gym, try a workout, just do things that makes you feel good. Maybe, I don't know, just do your nails, or just do things that makes you feel good without specifically stick to a standard, because the reason why you break up is not because you're ugly. The reason why you break up is because this was not your person. And sometimes we got stuck to comparison. Oh, maybe he found someone better, or maybe I was not enough. Habibi, you were enough. It was just not good for you. So you need to stick it to your mind. Take care of yourself physically, but not in an anxious way. Just cherish yourself. Just you like to do your hair, go do your hair. You like to take care of your body, just go to the gym. Mentally, what really helped me was going through therapy. And I just realized that therapy was so beneficial for me. And guys, there's nothing wrong in going on therapy. I go on therapy basically once a week. And I worked on so many things in my life after, I started therapy. And thank God I'm doing that. I'm very blessed, and I would recommend anyone to talk to someone in case you need it, but also in case you don't need it, because it's always good to work on yourself. And the moment you work on yourself mentally with someone, you basically can spot many different nuance of your behaviors and your choices. And also you become stronger. You become stronger in a way that, first of all, the therapist will help you see the situation in a very objective way. So whenever we are in the middle of a breakup or in a relationship, when we feel love, or again, dopamine, we are blind, so we don't see things objectively. The heart is speaking, but not the mind. And sometimes when you need to get over things, it's very helpful to just see things from an objective point of view. So the therapist will help you do that for sure. You need to choose the right one, the right that fits you, but the good one will help you see through the lines. Also, it will help you to just acknowledge your feelings. Sometimes we want to avoid this feeling of, no, I'm fine, no, I'm healed. But it's better to go through hell, and then whenever you finish, you're over, rather than denying your feelings, and then after a few months, you're still in the same loop. So it will help you to acknowledge your feelings, and will help you also to see patterns. So the other point is getting through a breakup. What helped me is write down the patterns. So basically, sometimes we think that we have a type, no? And I don't know, I'm sure that if you think about it, you might have selected partners that remind you of maybe like a dynamic or a trauma that happened into your life. For example, the reason why I chose that specific guy and many guys before is because it just triggered this thing in me that I needed to save him. Because this came from my trauma with my dad, I felt that I needed to save him. So I'm very familiar with this dynamic. So what would I do? I would choose people that triggers these wounds in me, because what is familiar for me? Save you. So I will choose a guy that in my mind needs to be saved, because this dynamic is familiar for me. It's not healthy. It's not unhealthy. It's just familiar, but doesn't mean that it's good for me just because it's familiar. So what helped me is actually, and together also with a therapist, is to just understand if in the choices I made in the past, I selected people that they were kind of like the same. And trust me, when I wrote down, I was just like, okay, I'm choosing the same guy with a different body. So first of all, acknowledge that maybe you're going for patterns. Just realize where the patterns come from. In my situation, the pattern was like a wound that I had with my dad. So once I acknowledged that, I actually saw that the situation from a very objective point of view and not emotionally. I was just curious. And then after that, just try to break the pattern. If the pattern is going for people that needs to be saved, just try to meet people or be surrounded by people that they don't have this tendency anymore. And even if at the beginning we'll feel like, oh, I don't like him, or there's something that it's uncomfortable, it might help you to break the pattern and lead you to the right person. So recognize your patterns. This is very, very, very important, and it's part of the mental reset that you have to do after a breakup. And then third area is emotionally. Emotionally, you need to do a reset, or you need to understand, how to cope with this emotion. First of all, I want to say that I think in order to really get over a breakup, you need to acknowledge your emotions. Sometimes, as I said before, we don't want to acknowledge that. We just want to say that we're fine and then we're not fine. But it's so important to just acknowledge and be in the present moment and say, no, I'm not fine. I'm not fine, but I will accept that I'm not fine. And I swear, the moment you accept that you're not fine is the moment you can potentially start heal. Just acknowledge that you're not fine. And then the moment you start healing is not linear. So it will go ups and downs. Maybe one day you will feel good, one day you will feel bad, but at least you know that you're on a journey. So what I did emotionally to just heal myself, it's something that maybe you would not expect. And I think that now David Gingham, I swear, I think this is his surname, Gingham, is talking about it a lot. And he's coming to Dubai on the 4th of October. And I can't wait to actually go and see him. It popped into my feed when I was very, very sad. And then I decided to get a course from him. And what helped me emotionally to get over this, it was Kabbalah. So what is Kabbalah? So first of all, Kabbalah is an ancient wisdom that talks about basically how the world, the universe, God, whoever you want to believe in, is working in your favor, and how to get through life based on this, I would say, spiritual technology. This is how he calls it, spiritual technology. By the way, disclaimer, this is not connected to any religion. It's not Jewish, it's not Muslim, it's not, no, it comes way before any religion, first of all. And second, just because you're sticking to a religion doesn't mean that you cannot learn Kabbalah. Kabbalah is for everyone, especially because you can refer to the highness as God, as universe, as whatever you believe in. So basically, what is Kabbalah and what taught me? So basically, Kabbalah said that whenever we come into this world, we come with a purpose. And we also comes with a tikkun. Tikkun is the soul corrections. It means that in order for our soul to heal and come back to this state of wholeness, we need to go through specific problems, issues, struggles, in order for us to learn from it, evolve, heal, and basically just elevate our soul and go to the next level. So basically, everyone has a different tikkun, has a different soul correction, and has different struggles. And I'm sure that you can see it. I mean, there are people that are always struggling with a specific thing. There are other people that they're not struggling with that thing, but they're struggling with another field. For example, there are people that are struggling with their own health, but they're not struggling with money. Or maybe they come into this life that blessed with money, but then they're struggling with relationships. Everyone has his own tikkun, has his own struggle you need to overcome in order for your soul to get corrected and then create this wholeness. So everyone has experienced a relationship in his own life in a different way, parents, friends, partners, etc. And all these relationships are part of a logic, and they're part of this soul correction, which means that if you have to learn a specific lesson that will help you to elevate, God, the universe, will put you in front of you someone that it might hurt you, but from this very low point, you can actually learn and then evolve. So eventually you can like elevate yourself and upgrade. The moment you start thinking like that, and the moment you start thinking, as Kabbalah said, that every time you have a breakup point or you feel that everything is collapsing, is actually you need to be blessed and you need to be thankful, because this is the moment where you're gonna evolve and you're gonna have the real glow up physically, mentally, spiritually. You just switch from victimhood to gratefulness. Switching from victimhood to gratefulness is the key to see life from a different perspective. So to heal yourself faster and be in a surrounding with people that are optimistic and will never do what your ex did. So basically, once I learned, there is a lot to say about Kabbalah, and I'm not an expert. I just took a course or two, but I really wanted to share with you how I saw my breakup and how I took it in a way that at some point I told everyone, oh my God, thank God that happened. Is because Kabbalah teach you that everything that comes for you, it comes with a lesson. It doesn't come because God is bad. It comes because it's a lesson. And this lesson, it's good for you to learn. So next time, not only your soul is prepared and it's elevated, but you heal. You heal this a struggle that your tikkun put you on. So I really recommend you to have a look at Kabbalah, and especially the work of Devin Gingham. I hope I spell his surname in a correct way. And if you're interested, people from Dubai is coming to Dubai on the 4th of October for a seminar, and you will find me there for sure, because this wisdom helped me so much. So at the end of the day, also your mindset is crucial, because if you really can see every bad situation, now we're talking about breakups, but if you can really see every situation in a way that, oh no, why it happened to me, to, oh thank God happened to me, even though it takes a while, because in the moment you're not really thinking that you deserve this. But if you are thanking God of what happened, because this will lead you to a better person, a better situation, a better job, a better health, better everything, I swear, you will see the breakup as a blessing and not a punishment. And this is exactly how I'm gonna end this podcast today. I really hope that after the conversation, you really see your breakup as a blessing and not a punishment, especially after what we said in the last few minutes. And I really also want to know how you got through it, especially because the last thing that I want to say is there's no timeline for don't put a timeline on it. Don't put a timeline on your breakup. Just acknowledge that you don't feel good. Just do everything spiritually, physically, and mentally to feel great. Surround yourself with the right people and the right support system. Get out of your comfort zone and just travel and experience new things, so you can see that your problem is actually very small and not as dramatic as you think. And just have a look at Kabbalah. And I'm sure that if you integrate all of this in your life, I swear you would actually love to break up to people. I swear to God. Okay, I really hope this episode was useful. And let me know if it ever happened to you that you were experiencing breakup, or maybe you're going through one now. Let me know also if this episode was useful to you and you learned something, or you want to know something else about, how to get through it. And I'll see you guys on the next episode with the next guest. Thank you so much.